Hey everybody, this is episode 3 of Athletes Unplugged. Today we have a great friend, a great athlete coming all the way from Metropolitan University, Kevin Jones.
Hello guys, my name is Kevin Jones. I'm a junior at MSU Denver in Colorado, and yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me, Marcy.
Oh, that's awesome, Kevin. Well, Kevin, I know we played together in Eastern for 2 years. We all come from the bench,
Yes,
you know?
yes, sir.
Coming out our second season, we start.
From the bottom.
Yeah, exactly, man. Coming from bottom.
Yeah.
So but I know people don't know who you are.
Yeah.
People don't know your experience in obstacles. So can you just give it a brief introduction, Lo?
Yeah. I was originally born in Idaho. Came up to Utah about when I was like 6, 7. I really didn't get into soccer till I was about 9 years old, and then I would just kick around for fun. About when I turned 12, then that's when I realized, I don't know, I kind of want to try going into more competitive kind of playing instead of just playing at regular recess and stuff. And so, I started playing recreation soccer just like in the community, when I was 12. And then once, I think the next year I got scouted by a club coach, and it really kind of started from there. That's when I started playing competitive soccer after that. And then
What club recruited you?
they're called Forza FC.
Forza?
I don't know if they're still around. At
Yeah.
least the club I was at, in our area, they disbanded. But they're called Forza FC. And then there's a whole UISA age group. A lot of that came where certain age groups have to be together. And so
Cool.
our whole club disbanded, and then I eventually joined Utah Soccer Alliance.
Utah Soccer Alliance.
That's where I've been.
Look, it's cool that you say you started at 9 because I had already in the past episodes I had Guillo and Cesar, and they started playing at 12, 13.
Right, yeah.
And for me it was damn, that's kind of old, you know?
Yeah, because I feel like with you start playing when you're 5.
Yeah, I started playing really young age, but it's cool. Do you play competitive as well in high school or?
Yeah. So I was lucky enough where when I switched to Utah Soccer Alliance, I was there for about 2 years, and then we got a new coach, and I think that's what really set off my college kind of career with soccer, because his name was Josh Pittman. He played, he coached at Westminster. They're a D2 school in the RMAC, and I think he was a very pivotal moment in my career. I think he's the one that really helped me harness my skills, just embrace the way I play, and so I think he was the big kind of person to help me go into college. So
that's cool. So it's cool that you mentioned coaches. You think coaches could have a really impact in your career, negative and positive?
Oh yeah, for sure. I also played high school soccer for Bingham High School. I enjoyed my time there, and I think just the coaches I've had, they've all been so supportive of me. They've known the skills I've had, talents I've had, and they always give me some personal advice, what they would do, and then also I think just always pushing me. And obviously, not even just coaches too. I think just my family as well. They've always been such a supportive role in my life, so I think that's been a real key point in having me have a
of course it's awesome, man. I feel support is always good because sports is, people think it's just all physically, but there's a huge mentally part as well, right? So Kev, do you always play soccer? You never try another sport?
Dude, it's honestly, it's pretty crazy. My first sport that I tried was actually baseball. I never call that sport. Okay. I know, right? I never really got into baseball. I remember I would just play at recess baseball, and then eventually I kind of switched to football. Everything just really started from elementary school, and then I wanted to go try out for what is it it's kind of those high school teams, but it's for younger age groups. I remember there was a tryout in my elementary school I wanted to do, but then I think I just realized I didn't have the body type.
Okay, by football you're saying
American football.
Okay,
American football.
Let
me get that straight.
Because I know you guys call it soccer.
Yeah. And so I think that's when I tried football, but then I realized I don't know if I really want to get slammed all the time, probably get concussions and all that. So I think soccer just kind of came so natural to me, especially from my background, my ethnicity. I'm Brazilian, half Brazilian. And so I think just the culture they have there, like soccer is obviously a big part. And
yeah,
so,
you're totally right. Yeah. And so like why make you fall in love with the sport though? Like why you think like you have like that big passion that you're like, man, like yeah, I tried baseball, it's not good. I tried football, it's not great. So soccer, I guess you win by default.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not like that, I bet. But like, why you were like,
why was the soccer?
Damn, man, like I'll just do this for the rest of my life, right?
Dude, that's honestly such a good. I feel like it just kind of what I said earlier. It just came so natural. Where I don't know. I think I just found so much like fun in the game. You know, just playing in the backyard, and especially with my brother. Like we would always go like after school, and then also like even before school, there would be every like Friday morning we would always have like a little pickup game right before we go to class. And so I think that was like just a big part of what made me fall in love with the game. So
if there's like any moments, because you're 23 right now?
20.
20?
Yeah, 20 years
old. I put you like a couple of years. I thought you were 23, man. Okay, like so like 20 years you start playing at 12. That's like almost 8 years playing soccer, right?
8 years, yeah.
Is there any moment like during high school, because now that you're probably more stable in sports, that you were like, F these, bro. I'm done playing. Like it's too much.
Yeah, there's honestly, I would say there's a point. I think when I was about like 8th grade, 9th grade, I had like my family was going through a little like tough time, so I couldn't play competitive soccer at the time. But I don't know. I think I just not even just soccer. I think just like my passion for sports. Like I always try to stay active. Like I started doing track and field. Yeah. I think probably that's what's helped me with my speed ability. So I always found a way just to use soccer, but like use it for like different sports as well. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's been like a big part of it though.
Hey, that's good that you mentioned that phrase, that using soccer for other sports.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be a tough question, but like, why do you think like soccer players can transfer their abilities to other sports and not other sports to soccer? Like, have you seen like basketball players playing soccer, bro? They look like freaking aliens, you know? Yeah. But like
all
when we play, they look hella weird. But like when soccer players actually try out another sport, they're really good, and sometimes they're even like better to the ones who practice the actual sport. Why do you think that?
You know, it's a tough question, but like I honestly think, I mean, every sport has their own like skills and abilities, you know. But I think with soccer, maybe like a pro that's good is like, I think just the athleticism of soccer players. Like with soccer, we're not really using our hands and stuff, but I think it's more like we're making agile movements, like just like bouncing off of like different plays, you know, that like really like our bodies, we're using our whole body, you know. And I'm not saying like every sport's using, because every sport usually uses that, but I think with coordinating with like our head to our feet is more difficult than from our hands. Yeah, you're totally right. And so I don't know, I think just kind of like balancing with our body, I think that's like the most difficult part. Maybe that's why soccer players are able to play other sports and seem pretty decent at it.
So like, okay, let's go. Do you know who Dana White is? Dana White. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Dana White. Yeah.
Well, for the people who don't know, he's the UFC president. Basically, he said that soccer is the least talented sport. Like his statement was.
Whoa!
Like why? You know, like he basically says like soccer is the least talented sport, and that's why his statement said that's why 3 years old can play it. Do you actually think that soccer is the least talented sport? Did you just mention that it's a really really super skillful actually sport?
Don't get me wrong. Like soccer is definitely. I mean, I think it's not the least talent. Was it the least talented?
The least talented. That's what. Least talented.
I don't think so, but like, I don't know. I think with specifically since Dana White's, you know, the UFC president, I think obviously doing martial arts, that's like a whole different set of skills. You know, like that takes like time, like techniques and stuff. And I mean, it's the same as soccer, right? But like with like martial arts, I feel like it's so. What's the word for it? I think it just takes like a lot more like just training and time than like probably soccer does and stuff, you know, like I'm not saying everyone can do martial arts, but I think like you can definitely like train yourself to have that like ability to compete, and I think you can do that with soccer as well. But I feel like with soccer, the ones that stand out is just the ones who are like really, you can tell they have talent, like they're natural. Like, you know.
Damn, so, I was not expecting that at all.
I mean, man, like, it's kind of hard because like even like with other sports, they all require like different like sets of skills. But I wouldn't say soccer is the least talented though.
It's not for sure. Like, look, I agree with what you say. Not all of it. Honestly, I'm Dana White. I know you for sure won't watch this, but fuck UFC, bro. Like, martial arts is hard, but like, we all fight when we were kids. Like, it's like we all know fight professional, or we all know fight like it's not a structured fight, but I think like you born with fighting. You know, like you fight with your brother. You get in school, like fight in school. Like, there's so many things like. So like I feel like UFC like it's easier to learn how to fight than fucking soccer, you know? Like
I could see it.
Like soccer for recreation, probably there's a lot of people who can play. Yeah. But like for fighting, there's all people who will fight. The only thing is like actually learning the technique, it takes time, but I feel like it's more like your mentality, you know? Because there's some people like are like that have like conscience, like fuck, I don't want to hurt these people. I don't want to kill them. But UFC guys, they kind of like don't have that, so they don't care what happens.
Their egos.
Yeah, you know, it's so big. So they were like, okay, I'm gonna win. It doesn't matter if I kill this guy. You know, we are not like that. But like, soccer is not the least talented. It's not baseball. Like, you know, like baseball probably it is, but soccer no. Like, so I got pissed when I saw that. Like, it's just bullshit.
It is bullshit. I think also it's just like, you know, America's still growing with soccer, and I mean, obviously it's getting better. And I think with like, you know, you look at the national team, I think we're having like almost all of our starting 11, they all play in Europe or like different, you know.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, obviously I think that's helping a lot. But I think just for the moment, I feel like, you know, Americans were all about like football, like winning, like, you know, the aggressive types, you know.
That's why the World Cup is gonna change a lot here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm so excited for that.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be great.
So that's like a once in a lifetime you have to go to.
Yeah, man. So Kev, like we have talked, we kind of like bounce around, but let's go back. Like, just tell me like where you play. You're starting high school. I know you're starting Bingham High School, and then you played. I used to stay with me, and now you're playing MSU. So like, just tell me like when you start playing, for how long you playing high school, then you to state, and then MSU.
Yeah. So I played Utah Soccer Alliance majority of my I guess teenhood.
Yeah.
I also played high school. I didn't make it my freshman year on the high school team, but I made it my sophomore, junior, and senior. So I was very grateful I could have that opportunity. I think just representing your school, like, I don't know, it's different than just doing club. Maybe it's like different from because I know you're from Panama.
Yes, sir.
I know like the soccer lifestyle is definitely different than what it is in the U.S.
So like, wait, like, you didn't make it your freshman team in high school?
No, freshman year, I think there's like 3 tryout dates, and I made the first 2, and then I got called for the last tryout date, and then
you didn't make it.
I didn't make it. I thought I really performed really well.
So do you think like, okay, I don't want to know. Don't make excuses because you're not like that. But like, what changed from that freshman to sophomore year? Like, you know, like why you didn't make it in the freshman, but in the sophomore year you were like, oh heck yeah.
Honestly, like I'm kind of grateful that, like, as much as, because the thing is, when I didn't make my freshman year, I wanted to play with my brother because he was gonna be a senior. And so that was like my only time to like really play with him.
Okay.
And so that was like my main goal. Obviously it didn't work out, but I think it was, I don't know, I'm very grateful that like I actually didn't make it, because I think it just made me realize not everything's gonna come to you, you know. And so literally like right after that, like every morning from, I don't know, I would get up at 8 o'clock. There's like a park where I live back at home, and so I would just like go there every morning and like just train. Like it literally motivated me so hard. Like probably like a solid like 4 months I was doing that, like just consistently like training. I would go to the gym, I would run to the gym, go work out, and then run back home. And then like I was literally like so dedicated and committed just to making that sophomore year.
That's good, man. So like, okay, let me ask you this question. do you still want to be a professional player? Because I know you're a junior right now. You still have that dream?
Dude, honestly, like, it's something that I'm still thinking about. I mean, obviously, when, when I was a kid, like, that was my dream, to be a professional soccer player. I think, like, as I get older, like, I don't know. I know that the ball is going to stop rolling at some point,
Damn, that's sad.
It is sad, but, like, I try to embrace. I think the main thing with soccer is, like, not only is it fun, like, scoring goals, assisting, winning as a team, but I think it's just, like, the bonds you create is like
networking and stuff.
Yeah, like, literally just the memories and stuff. And so I think, honestly, I feel like those moments are the things that really drive me to, like, have those moments in soccer. And so
that's cool, man.
I think, I don't know, it's been in the back of my mind, like, I think eventually once I'm done, since I'm coming up on my senior year of college, and so I think, I don't know, I think if the opportunity rises, I would try it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But like if honestly if it doesn't work out, then like I'll be okay with that.
So like I want to ask you these questions because I feel like you mentioned high school that you trained, you go to train, you go like running to the gym and then you come back running and stuff. Yeah. So like it's just crazy to think how mentality changed over time when you like start growing up. Because when you're a kid, you're like, oh, it doesn't matter if you're good or not. Like you're like, oh damn, I'm gonna be a professional player one day.
That's like all you think.
You know, like it's just like I'm gonna make it, and you don't have plan B. Because I remember when I was 16, 17 years old, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a professional player. I don't have plan B. My mom was like, oh yeah, you need to study, but I was like, okay, no, this is what I'm gonna do. So it's crazy. Like, why do you think like the mentality changed? Like
in that moment I didn't make it, or
no, like for example, like you coming from being a kid with a dream.
Oh, okay.
And now you just mentioned like, well, if I don't make it, it's gonna be okay. You know, like why is that change, bro? Like
I feel like honestly, I think it's just different like cultures, like especially because like, I mean, with me being half Brazilian, I've been able to see like kids in Brazil who are in academies and just seeing like the mentality, lifestyle of like what soccer can do and stuff, and it's very different from how it is like Americanized. And so I don't know, I think it's like it's hard to describe it. I think with soccer here, I don't know, like my family was never really like, obviously my mom, she's Brazilian. Her side is they're into soccer and stuff, but they never like forced it upon me or anything. Like it was more like soccer kind of came out of my own interest. And so I think just maybe it's just like the culture, how it is here. Like, we play soccer like recreation with the community. Like it's not like as serious as you see, like European countries or South American countries. Like you're like, you can be like 7 years old, but you're in an academy. They're literally training you to like get to that top level, So I don't know. I think like just the dynamic from like American soccer to like foreign countries with their soccer, like development styles, I think it's different, And so I think with, I don't know, like as you mentioned, the mentality with me not considering if I should go pro or not. I don't know. I think I don't know. It's like
it's a hard question. Huh?
It is a hard question. Yeah. I think there's more to life than just soccer.
Damn.
As much as like, here's the thing. It's like, don't get me wrong. I love soccer.
Yeah,
it's in my blood, But I just know like at one point, soccer needs like it's not always going to be there, but like I'm going to be grateful for the experiences I have, and obviously apply those experiences that I've had into my next phase in life.
So like, okay, that's awesome. Damn, bro, I can't believe you said that shit.
Literally, this has been like a whole like in my mind for the past like couple of years. Like, do I try to go pro? Do I like do this? Do I do that? Like, I don't know. It's always been in my mind, but I think I've come to, just more of a conclusion for decision for that.
That's good. I respect that. It's. Yeah, you mentioned Brazil, like because Brazil, like what has Brazil is a really poor country.
Yeah.
Usually the people who play soccer is they say, I'm gonna say like becoming a professional soccer player will be equal to surviving. Coming out from the favela, coming out from a really poor, and it's the same as Panama. But United States, like I feel like it's hard to maintain the mentality here because there's so many opportunities.
Yes.
You know, so you're like, okay, I play college, it's fun. They gave me scholarships, so I'm done. Let's get back to work. But like the difference is that in order to be professional, I feel like you have to be obsessed. Oh, you know, it's not only I love soccer. No. You have to be obsessed, man. Like
the sacrifices.
You're obsessed. Just I want to make it. And for sure you can make it because I feel like you have here USL2, USL1. Yeah. USL2 is a semi-pro. USL1 is professional. Yeah. But like, if we compare to make it in the MLS to the European countries, it's probably easier here, right?
I would say like I don't know. It's hard because I think that's like the biggest part with like soccer growing in like America. It's I think it definitely has gotten better to like have that pathway to go pro. Especially like the MLS draft, these new USL teams coming through. And so I think it's making the opportunity, that doorway available to have a lot more opportunities.
Oh, yeah, but for sure.
I don't know. I think with other foreign countries, like it's more established, like ways to go through. But like I do agree with what you said, like you need the obsession.
Oh, yeah,
like, if for you really, sure. And it costs it like. It's honestly, you need to like sacrifice like so many things.
You need to sacrifice whole life, basically. Yeah. Because man, like United States is like, it's growing, and Panama is not even close. We play CONCACAF together, but we are not close to the United States yet. Yeah. But for example, something that I realized is that a lot of people here start playing soccer like in a club. Or in high school and stuff like that, I started playing soccer futsal. Yeah. Like with barefoot, and maybe because of that is I have the technique that I have right now. But like, it's just the culture difference is so like huge that you don't realize. But like, so like, you don't think like if you like push it forward or you already okay, I don't want to push you like man, just go back, become professional. You're making but like. With yourself, like sacrificing because, like, I mean, you're 20 years old. Like, you'll be done with school in 21. You know? Yeah. Probably like 21. You become 21. 22. Yeah. So, like, man, you're still young. Like, you know?
I am still very young.
So, like, just to put you in place, like, when you're done with school, that was my age when we started playing together. Yeah. You know? I'm 24
so crazy
now,
when you think about it like that. It's crazy, just time flies so quick.
So, like,
dude, when you met me, I was like 17.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. Wow. So what I'm saying is, like, you don't think you have more years in you after college? Or you're just, like, decided, you know what, Marcy, like, I'm done, I have my degree, I'm going to just start working.
Dude, I mean, it's kind of what I said earlier. I'm still, like, gathering that, like, final decision, But, I don't know, it's kind of like what I said. It's like, if there's an opportunity to, like, have an opportunity to try out or, like, go on a higher level or something. You would take
it for sure.
I would try it. Like, I think, I don't know, I think that's just always been my mindset. Like, I'll take it as far as it can go, Like, if at the end of the day, maybe it doesn't work out, maybe it does, maybe something comes from it. If it's not soccer, but it could be related to soccer, I think at the end of the day, it would be like that. So I'd be happy with that decision.
That's good. So, like, you're not frustrated a lot. It doesn't happen. No, like, you're cool with it.
Dude, I remember when I was thinking, like, when I started to have these thoughts, like, oh, can I, like, go pro and stuff? And then I would just, like, it was almost like I was upset with myself because I was like, dude, this is, like, literally all I wanted and stuff. And, like, I think it's also hard, too, because it's, like, my whole childhood, it's always been soccer. Like, there's times like I would miss so many events or something like that. And
for sure.
Like I remember seeing your last podcast, you were talking about that. And so it was just like, it's those sacrifices that you have to make. And so, but like, I love like, kind of what you said earlier, like in your last podcast, I was like, I would be so excited to go to training and like do all that stuff. And so I think, I don't know, it's definitely a decision not to take like lightly, but I don't know. I think like soccer is a way just or at least that's been for me. Just it's like a doorway to so many other opportunities. I feel like it's made me the person who I am today, and so
that's good, man. It's good to hear that. Yeah, man.
I think I'm just using all of its abilities it's given me, and
yeah, man. That's perfect because I always ask these questions to people because that happens to me a couple of years ago. I had a good run when I was young, make it to the national team, contacting teams, and there was.
How was that making to the national team?
Man, it's cool.
Because I feel like with the U.S., I mean, I'm not sure because like I haven't, obviously I haven't been in the national
here
team.
Is way better, because here you guys are sponsored by Nike. Their size, Panama is a poor country, but like for me, it was best feeling ever. I think I was 15. I was called for the under 17 team.
Wow.
And then you just give your call, bro. Like you're at home. I remember my coach, because I had a contact and my coach was like, expect a call. They're going to call you.
Oh, really?
Man, I'm just like, it's a Sunday. No, it was a Friday. And I was just like, oh, shoot, they're going to call me.
So were you like in an academy?
Well, I was playing for high school and I was playing as well in an academy.
Oh, okay.
So like, I remember that year, I was in high school. I used to play forward. I used to be fast, bro. Before you like met me, I actually used to be fast.
Oh, I know. I remember seeing the highlights.
Yeah, I used to be like really different. Now I'm like kind of like forgot about my kind of like going to the gym, all the stuff. So, but it was 2015. I had a great season. I think I scored like 8 goals, 5 assists in Panama. And then have you ever heard about USA Cup?
Yeah.
Well, I went to that. I scored like 9, 10 goals in that one too.
Oh, that's great.
We won the Liga 10. This is my team. We won the Liga 10 like without losing. So I had a great year.
Yeah.
And then I played in Colombia that year as well. It's called Copa Bogota. And I scored like 4 goals. And it was like under 20. So like,
wow.
So like I had a great year. So I was like, oh heck yeah. So my coach was like, okay, they're looking at you.
Yeah.
They're looking at you. Man, and then
just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just keep working hard. And that was when my mentality was, man, like, quinceañeras for sure. Like, Hispanics, I was like, okay, I'm not going to go to any quinceaños. I'm not going to go anywhere.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure that's a big part of the culture,
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. And my parents were like, okay, you want this? Let's do it. So every Sunday, I used to do ice baths. Every Sunday without music.
Every Sunday,
yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't have a bath. You know what have you seen those, like, kind of like, I don't know how to, it's like when you go to the river, you use those things.
Yeah.
So I just put ice in there.
Yeah.
And I just go there. And my mom was like, okay, let's keep training. There was to a point my coach was like, they're going to call you. Be at home, be ready. So they just call you. The federation is called FEPA Food. So they just like, hey, this is FEPA Food. Christian Marciscano, we just want to let you know that you have been selected to be part of a first process of the national team. And I was like,
that's fire. That's crazy, bro.
And they're like, come to the stadium Sunday night. I'm like, oh, heck yeah. So I go to the stadium and, man, there were like already 16 players that were professional already. They were playing in Panama. It's not a huge league, but they were professional. I was like, oh, shit. I was hell intimidated, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, it's just like crazy because you have this dream as a kid and you just never see it coming.
Yeah.
And I was there, man. I was super nervous. There was to a point like I froze during practice, so I was a forward. And like I remember my first practice, we were playing like a reduced, like short space, like 7v7.
Yeah, some small-sided.
Small-sided. And I was in the wing side, on the left side, and I remember they changed the ball to me, and I was like 1v1 with a defender. And I was so scared that I just like kind of like pull back and pass the ball.
Oh, no.
Yeah, my first practice, bro. And like, that was when like, and I didn't know anybody. These fools, like, they all played together in different clubs, in like professionally. Like, I was like, fuck. And I just heard like, the coach, and it was like, oh, what the fuck?
About to get a whooping.
Yeah, like, bro, he was like 15 years old. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Who you think you are?
Like passing the ball.
You think we brought you here to be scared? And I was like, damn, I was just super scared, bro.
It was just like a reality
moment.
Yeah,
it was like a crazy. So like they put a defender in front of me. They stopped the train. They were like, now 1v1 him. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh my god.
I was like scared, but like everybody started seeing me, and I was like, oh fuck no.
Yeah.
I'm not bitch, bro. I have to prove that.
You know what's good though? Like they knew your potential though.
Yeah,
I think that's why.
It's cool. They just put me in the spot, bro. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do what I kind of like do the bicycles, and I put it to my left, and I hit as hard as I can, bro. And it just went top corner, like top post, right post, and then went in.
That's so
and
sick.
the whole team like quiet, like. And then we went to the how do you call it? The dressing rooms?
Yeah, locker room.
The locker rooms. And everybody started talking to me now. Right. At first, nobody say any hi, because the sad thing is like in Latin America, even if people don't want to admit it, there's still the like it's kind of like judgmental, racist. It depends. It's really like poor level social class, you know?
Yeah.
Here is like you find professional players that went to college, all this stuff. But in Panama, usually professional players don't even finish high school.
Yeah, they just go straight there.
Yeah. So like because I was in high school and all this private school, they were like, oh yeah, nobody wants to talk to me. So after I did that, that's in the locker room.
Like earn their respect.
Exactly. People start like, oh yeah, like talking to me and stuff.
Wow.
But it was a great time, man. I started 6 months there. I don't know. Do you watch the whole first episode?
Yeah, I did. I watched like I think there's a couple parts I missed, but yeah.
So like I did 6 months of the process. There's something called UCAF, because it's a CONCACAF under 17. It was on Sunday, and on Friday they cut me after 6 months of playing. Yeah. So that was a reality check as well.
Yeah.
That is just crazy, man.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm. So like they cut me. They gave me like $100 paycheck, $100 check. Like I remember I bought like pizza or something. Like I was a kid.
It was just 100.
Yeah, it's just 100, man. Like it was.
I
just
guess.
a kid.
Yeah.
Every Friday they give you money though.
Okay.
Usually those money are called viáticos.
Oh, okay.
So that means it's like, okay, you are from South Jordan, you're playing in Price.
Yeah.
So you want to visit home, we pay for that ticket. You know. So
okay.
Those like were for that.
Yeah. Transportation.
We don't actually get paid, so like after I was like, okay, cool. Let's just get back to it. And I started playing more and more. And my mom was like, you have to learn English. Because my mom came from a really poor, and also my dad.
Yeah.
Now they're better, but they were like, oh, for sure, you're not going to play soccer. You know, like in Panama, bro, like soccer players, they come like, they are like driving a taxi. Like they're doing taxi part-time and soccer player. So it's not like you can live off soccer, you know?
Yeah.
So my parents were like, no, you have to learn English.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the big thing is for like, especially like, I don't know, maybe to those like kind of poor countries, you know, it's like, it seems like soccer is just like the only way to kind of do stuff. Man. I know it's getting better, like improving, you know, as generations come, but like, I think with like America, it's like there's so many opportunities you could do.
Oh yeah,
and so like
for
soccer's
sure.
Not just one of them.
Yeah, man, that's that's why it's like success is equal surviving.
Yeah.
So like I remember when I was 17, man, I was so mad because I was like, if I make it one time in the national team, I can go again.
Yeah.
So I want to start training. And I remember when I was 17, I haven't said this, I actually signed with a D1 school.
Right.
Yeah, I actually signed with a D1 school in Florida.
Okay.
But I was like, no, I'm not going to go.
You're not going to go?
I want to be professional, so I went to Spain.
Ooh.
I went to Spain and I make it to it's called like they have this Wells division. Well, I make it to a D1 under 19, where it was Real Madrid, all these things.
Oh yeah.
In Madrid, and when I start training with it, I realized like, okay, I'm not good enough. That's when I
went to Spain.
Yeah, that's when I realized, okay, I'm not good enough. At least to make it in Spain, I'm not good enough. And that's why my first like slap of reality.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, like these guys are like crazy good, you know.
It's like just seeing the level.
The level, it's crazy. I thought I was like hella good.
Yeah.
I was like, I coming from national team, I'm good.
Yeah.
But when I got there, I'm like, okay, no.
It's also like a different style.
Oh
too,
yeah,
you know?
So, oh for sure, man.
Yeah.
Like that's why my transition from soccer to the United States was so hard.
Yeah.
Like I played in Spain for 2 years and a half. Never we ran 2 miles. Never, bro. Like it was like when we was like the conditioning training, it was like super small spaces.
Yeah.
1v1. But super
it was just
small.
Like intense.
Like I put like these sides, you know?
yeah.
And it was like, and you burn your calf, like you feel it. But like I have never like, yo guys, let's run 2 miles today.
2 miles.
Never, bro.
Yeah.
So when I came to the United States, I was dead.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Yeah, I was dead, bro. Like it was like crazy. And also like our first season, like we didn't play. Our first season, it was like, okay, let's just long balls and run. You know, and for me, that style was like, oh, frick. Like,
you're talking about like when we were in
Price? For season I do the state university. It's not like it was not sustainable. It was just like let's run, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's why we make so many like like substitutes in every game.
How'd you feel about like the whole transition, like just I guess style of soccer and everything when you came to Price?
It was horrible. Man, at first I was frustrated because like you play with me, bro. I love 1-2s. I love to play like little like touches and move the ball. I love to play like that. But like
get your touches in,
But like for example, at that time of my life, my condition was not the best. I was not in the best shape, and just playing long balls, it was just like it was impossible for me. Like it was just not. Yeah. But like for example, from that first year we played in Utah State to the second year, it was a whole different move, bro. We played way better in the second year. Like it was a way better team.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Like we even did change our coach mentality for that time. He was like, "Let's play long ball," but we were like, "Okay, no, man. Like we can't play."
Yeah.
And that sucks because like just look, like imagine you only playing Utah State for the first season. You think like there's coaches that will see you like, "Oh, we want you. You play really good."
Oh, absolutely not.
No, right? The second team is like you were able to attack more, to like go back, like kind of like start the game, bro. Like actually playing soccer, bro. That's
actually play.
It's.
I mean, you would see the way we like destroyed some teams.
Yeah,
it's
just insane,
like,
bro.
Yeah.
So like we're talking now about Utah State. Like how I want to know like because you're playing NCAA D2 now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So like I want to know like the transition from a JUCO to an NCAA because JUCO like it's really not super structured. It's not super formal. So like. Did it shock you when you get to like the facility of the D2 team?
I think like honestly, as I played for Utah State Eastern, I think just I don't know, we scrimmaged some like Division II schools, and so I think that was very good just to kind of see like where our levels were at. Definitely first time we played a D2 school and we got smacked. Yeah. That would always be like a learning experience, but like every time we came back and played the same school, like I could tell we were getting better and better.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I think like the biggest difference with JUCO and D2, just kind of you're saying like D2 obviously is a lot more structured. Yeah. There's a lot more like emphasis, just like, all right, we're going to do this style, like this is how we're going to play. Like it's just I guess more organized. There's also like, I don't know, every team has their own quality. Like there's not like,
bad.
Yeah. You know how our there's only like maybe 2 different community colleges who would actually like put up like they were like our rivals. Like you could tell they have quality, but I think with especially like the RMAC, the division I'm in, I think there's so many talent like everywhere. Even if like teams are at like the very bottom, it's like they still have like good players. It's just like maybe like they're not fully like just connecting, and so but I think that's like the biggest thing. I think it's the quality of each team. Like no one's really like completely trash, and I think it's also just the consistency. Like obviously the level of play is way faster than JUCO. I feel like that was like the biggest thing when I first came to my D2 school. I think it was just like keeping the intensity and the level of play like throughout the whole match. Yeah. Like that's what it also felt like. And it's also just like physically more demanding too. And so I think just having like the right, like keeping sure you're in shape, you're fit. I think those are like the most important things that I feel like I had to kind of adapt to, especially with like, altitude. I feel like that plays a big part.
Oh yeah.
Like I think, I just think it's it's a lot more demanding than JUCO for sure.
So like, let's talk more like specific, like you're talking about Metropolitan University of Denver, right?
Yeah.
MSU.
Yeah.
So like they as a organization, like you think they have helped you a lot? Like you have because you probably have like now a whole team like is focused on sports, right?
Yeah.
Like you have your physical, I don't know how you fitness coach or whatever.
Trainers and all that.
You think that's like that makes you a better player?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that's the thing what like I kind of wanted, like I think from a JUCO, just going back to how it's not like fully structured the way you want it. I think with the D2 school I'm at, like we have like a gym trainer, like when we do gym, like he does like specific workouts for us that we need to do. And so like I think and it's scheduled with like how our trainings are going to be like just to prepare us better for training and for games. And then also just our trainers too, like the facilities. Our facility is amazing. Like it's like that was like my dream, like just to have like a quality facility, you know. And there's a lot like so many like athletic people who work there who just they help us all the time. They're always supporting us, and especially like even I just like a cool perk was like the social media aspect of it. Like it's so dope to see that. That's like cool. You know, when you see your photo like on it, it's just like, oh, game day this day, and then or cool. Like they post highlights and stuff like that. And so I think that was like the biggest thing I wanted, especially like moving out to Denver. Like it was just me and my girlfriend, but it was like pretty much just like a whole brand new environment, you know? Like there's new people.
You have to adapt.
Like what is it? I only knew like one kid going there, because he also played at UVU. Okay. And then so I really was like just like a newbie coming in, like just a whole different team, new environment, and it was like even like different culture, you know, from how Price was, and so I think just adapting, that's like the hardest thing to do. But then like I think once you find your ways around that, it becomes way more enjoyable. Good, so. Man.
So like, Kev, like why MSU? Why you choose that specific school? Like why the specific NCAA team?
I mean, honestly, I think I remember when I used to go to like some slick camps that they have around here, just some college teams would come around, and then or college coaches, and then they would just come watch us play. And so I remember it was right before I went to Price. I went to this camp, and then there's an MSU coach there, and we did like a certain drill, and just like he would talk to us about his program and stuff. This is before my actual coach. He was the previous coach. But I just really like kind of like the philosophy around it. And even I love it even more just speaking with the current coach now. And so I think, just like the culture around it. I think just having, you know, I feel like just coaches who really know like what they're doing, like they actually they're passionate about the sport, like they're passionate about their players, like they want everyone to like be good. And I think just having that support system, also just like their passion, I feel like just thrives off of you, and then I think that just helps a lot. So I think good, man. And also just the philosophy of the coaches and the program, I think that's the biggest thing, just the mentality of everything. I enjoy it.
That's good, man. It looks like coaches are really important to you. Like, they're like a key factor for you to.
Honestly, I feel like I need like the right coach in order to like perform.
Succeed. Oh, okay. Damn, that's important.
Especially 100%. I think so.
So like, man, like the other day we were talking with another like ex teammate. Well, let's say like now he's a rival. He's in Fort Lewis University. Like Fort Lewis College, right? And you guys are in the same conference.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's telling you the Fort Lewis, like for Lewis, whatever. I don't know how to say it. They won the conference?
Yeah, they won the conference. Yes.
How you feel about that? Like your ex teammate, now rival, is
honestly
he's the champion now.
Honestly, it doesn't feel good, you know. You know, I played with Thomas. You know, he's a great player. I think. Yeah, man. I mean, like when we played them, I feel like in preseason, it was just unfortunate. Just we gave away 2 goals. It was just, I think we were still kind of clicking, because I think this year we had like a lot of more additions to the team, especially including me. And so I think we're still kind of like gelling together, especially just figuring out how we play and stuff. And so the preseason, I thought I put a good performance in. Honestly, probably should have had like an assist or a goal. Like honestly, I feel like I was performing really well.
Do you guys both played? Like,
yeah, we were both playing at the same time. And then I mean, like obviously we're friends and stuff like that, but like, you know, when we're in the game,
you're
like,
rivals.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like, it's cool because when you play with friends, you're like, oh, these fuckers still do the same shit, you know? When he caught,
I think like that's
something, you know?
You know how the other person plays it too. So
you're like,
it is, But like, I don't know, we played them later in the season while they were number 1 in our conference, and we tied 1-1. Yeah, we scored first, and then they had a comeback goal right after. But I mean, it was a good game. it was just, I mean, they've been consistent, obviously. And so.
What did you guys finish in the?
We finished sixth in the conference, and 6 teams go to the playoffs. And then we played CSU Pueblo, and then they actually made it to the national finals, but they lost. But, I mean, it was a tough game. Like, obviously, I think that's another thing with the RMAC. Like, guys are way bigger. They're stronger and faster, you know. And so, I don't know. It was a tough game, but we lost 1-0. They scored, like, at the very end. Yeah. It was a tough one, not going to lie. But, I don't know. I think that season we were, like, I don't know. We're always, like, trying to build off, like, of our last games and stuff. So I think from us building off of each other and everything, especially after each game, learning what we could do better, I think that's made us even stronger now.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, you guys are, like, now this is spring break. I know. When do you guys start preseason for?
So, we actually already started preseason. Damn. Yeah, we had a game against Air Force the other day. And then.
So, when the season starts?
Season started, well, I guess technically it starts, like, January 14th. That's, like, when we started up practice again, but then
the first official game.
First official. Oh yeah, we already had our first official game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we have like I think 4 more games this season. It'll be not next week, but I think the weekend after.
What is that? The RMAC?
Nah. So like, I think actually no. We play one team from the RMAC, but then other ones are just like community college or like an academy and stuff.
But like what I'm saying is like when the RMAC start.
The actual conference. Okay, yeah. The actual conference starts in fall.
In fall? Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be like beginning like middle of September or something like that. Yeah.
That's good. So I know Thomas you'll be watching. So like Thomas is for Louis. So like what do you think about like MSU next season? Do you think you can beat for Louis or?
Oh, I definitely think we have the potential to. I think.
Okay, no. Okay, wait, Kev. No. I don't want you to be nice. Like Thomas will be watching.
Oh, I know.
He's not your teammate anymore. Okay, he's your rival now. Okay, like off pitch, you guys can be friends. You guys can hang out. But like when the freaking like starts, when the game starts, you guys are rivals. You know.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, 100%. We're gonna give everything. Obviously, I can't tell you like what the result's gonna be. Obviously, I'm putting my bets in my favor because I think our team is strong at the moment. I think it's as strong as it has been. I think it's just the chemistry we've been building. Like, it's gone like way closer, and also just us building as a team. I think this is like the furthest we've got since like the fall, and so I don't know. I'm pretty confident that we would win. So.
Oh heck yeah! Well, that's a statement of Kevin Jones, MSG, winning and it's awesome, man. Imagine just like your senior year. Living with a freaking championship, like it's crazy,
I mean,
you know?
it's the way to
Maybe
go,
a ring.
Dude, that'd be the dream. The dream right there.
Like just like kind of like closing that statement really good on top.
I mean, it's definitely possible. It's kind of like what I said earlier. It's just like we got to find the consistency, you know. And I think that's like the biggest thing with the champions, you know. Like Fort Lewis, they showed it obviously in the last season. Just and it's also just kind of like fighting for results, like. Like you have to like put in a performance and find a way to win, you know. So I think that's just the biggest point. If we all come out like dogs in the beginning and then to the end.
So like you play in the RMAC. I know you play Thomas. Is there only players like you play at UT State in the RMAC as well?
No, I think Thomas was the only one. I know there's actually some other players from our conference that actually played in the RMAC, but I mean I don't know them, but I've just seen them.
Yeah, well, that's cool, like, you know, because I feel like people think like community college is just like, oh, they're not as good, so they go to community college, right?
Yeah.
And you're starting community college, and you're a D2 player now.
Yeah.
Thomas started D2 player as well, and we have Willie playing D1 as well, and we have other D1s prospect.
Yeah.
And even a professional player that went to our school.
Yeah.
So like people think that I feel like there's a misconcept of like community college, but it's just like community college is also a good way to start.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a smaller school. Like you build even better. Like probably like your best friends right now are from community college, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So like it's just like people have. Why do you think there's this misconcept that community college is they're not as good? Because do you ever feel judged in MSU like, oh, he's come from a community college, he's probably not that good?
No, not at all. I think I don't know. Ever since I came, all the guys they've been like all nice. Supportive and like nice. They know like the quality each player has, and so I think we all respect each other on that. obviously we try to push each other and improve. But yeah, I think like I can see like the misconception, like, you know, JUCO is just a JUCO. Like there's nothing special about it, even though we have had a player who transferred to D1 and then transferred go pro, you know, in the MLS. And so I don't know. I think it's definitely, I would recommend going that way if you like don't really know much about college. Like you haven't really been around the environment as much. And I don't know. I think it's just a way to kind of like see how it is. Like obviously it's not, it depends like which conference you're in, but like it might not be like as like demanding or like crazy. It just kind of just shows you what college soccer is kind of like. And then I think it just lets you know like if you want to take that next step to the next level.
Yeah, that's things like I see JUCO as like a developed league, you know?
Yeah, development. Yeah.
Because like man, like you did 2 years and you're playing D2 now, man, and you're starting, and it's like, and the same as you, there's so many players that actually went to JUCO, they did their 2 years and they go with a higher level. And they don't usually go to like NAIA or like D3, you know, they usually go D2 or D1.
Yeah.
So like I feel like this misconcept that people has like community college is actually really good players. Like it's probably not all the teams are super competitive. That's totally right. But there's like so many good players. Like
100%.
Our conference, like probably the 3 teams on top. Yeah, they were so good players. Like it was really good.
Like there's definitely even players in not even just JUCO, but also D2. Like they could play D1 and stuff like that. Obviously, I think just a lot of it's just connections that you need to have.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's like the biggest point, and then also just like the cost of like living and out of tuition. Like if you're going out of state, I think that's like the biggest factor that kind of decides something. And so, yeah, I mean, like there's at all the levels, there's always like players that could like they're so talented they could play D1 or D2, and so I really don't think like the whole like misconception just like it kind of just depends what you want out of it. Obviously, D1s, D2s, morely like D1s, they'll probably get like more awareness of like the pro level. Just depending. Honestly, you have to make it to the national tournament, like if you really want to like really like get noticed, you know. That's like really what you have to get to. And so I feel like the D1 D2 level, like the whole misconception like want to go D1 and stuff like that, like you can really get the same outcome either way. Like with honestly any of the levels, like, you know, we've seen players at JUCO go to like USL and then they go straight to the pro MLS or something. So like, honestly, I think it's just the connections and stuff.
Do you think like that's a good question because you're making the connection between professional and college? Yeah. What's the best way to go? Because there's like I didn't know anything, but now I'm trying to like investigate and do my research. And I had a couple of friends that are playing UPSL. I don't know one or I don't know how it works, and they start playing UPSL. They become really good at UPSL. And they're playing now USL 1. So do you think like because you probably your route was like community college, NCAA, and then hopefully professional, but like there's other people that actually goes academies, UPSL, USL2, USL1, and then boom, they make it.
Honestly, like it's kind of hard because I don't know, when I started playing soccer, like I knew none of this. Like I wasn't really thinking about college, like or even the academies. I was just playing, you know. I think it's also because not really any of my family members like played soccer like competitively in the U.S. And so I think it was just hard to kind of know these things beforehand. Like I literally didn't know RSL had an academy till I was like in club, probably like 15 years old, till like we actually played their academy. I didn't even know there was an academy. And so I feel like I don't know. Part of me is like, oh, maybe I didn't take advantage of it, but like I also didn't know. Like my parents didn't know, and so it was a learning experience for me. But I don't know. Like you guys can fact check me on this. I don't know if it's like, from what I've known, it's just, you know, you can either go college level, you know, JUCO, D1, D2, like just working your way up, and then eventually you can also get into the MLS draft. I don't know how you do that. I just know that's a way to get in. And also, there's obviously, you know, you mentioned UPSL. and then there's USL 1, and then USL 2, and then there's the championship. Championship is like right like below MLX. The MLS.
Is that championship? Is not like MLX Next Pro or something?
No, the Next Pro is like I think it's Academy, and again, you guys can fact check me on that. I think it's just like it's like an MLS's teams Academy kind of thing, and then it's just MLS teams competing with each other, and so
okay. So like at MSU, do you guys like? Because like it's weird because I know D1 teams they actually do scrimmages with professional teams.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's professional MLS, but USL 1 for sure. Because that's when I have a couple of friends who play in Eckerd College in Florida. That was in Tampa.
Okay.
And he did a scrimmage with Tampa Roadies. And Tampa Roadies was like, oh, yeah, man, we want you. So after he was done with college, he played for Tampa Roadies. It's a USL 1 team. But like D2, you guys just do scrimmage with another D2 teams? Or do you never scrimmage with D1s as well as USL 1, USL 2?
We do scrimmage with D1s. I know that... I don't know. I'm not sure since like I'm fairly new to the program. If we do scrimmage like USL team, I haven't really heard of that. But like we do a scrimmage against D1s. Like we played Air Force the other day and they're D1.
How was that game? Was it good?
It was good. Yeah, we won pretty much 2-1.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely like getting the rustiness off since we haven't played in a while. But it was a good game. It's good for us to build our foundation off of, and so
that's good.
Yeah, but yeah, other than that, like I'm sure there's teams who do play USL 2 teams and stuff like that. But yeah, I haven't heard of it though. I know there's like the summer programs of USL 2 usually that kids do, and so
a lot of people do. Yeah. It's like Thomas did last time, but he got like burned out.
He got I know he got like injured a little or something.
So he was like, oh,
that's always like the risk factor.
Yeah, because you have to go back to college to the actual conference.
It's hard because like you want to stay fit, and I think it's obviously I think just staying in shape and then in soccer shape are two different things.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I think everyone knows that. So, but yeah, I think it's just kind of like a matter of keeping like your touch up. I feel like it's just all like the work you put into as an individual.
Man, that's
like reflect that. So, yeah.
So like, damn, Kevin, your last year.
Year.
So like, do you think like if like you say like if there's an opportunity you will take it?
Yeah.
So you don't think it will be better for a D2 team to start playing with like D1s or like not D1s because you guys already do that, but like USL 1 at least. Like start like getting that taste of actual professional soccer.
Actually, yeah.
Just to see the level, because when we play JUCO, we play D2s. We saw the higher level. We are D2, you're playing D1s. So like, the thing is like, I figure like from D2, D1, there's not a huge level skills, but there's a huge media change. From D2, you don't get that much media, but D1 is like, oh wow, you're out there, So like, why is that? Like, why? Like, D1, like, it's not like the level. I know, like, NBA in, like, basketball and other sports, probably, like, D1 is, like, a huge different, but in soccer, it's not.
I think, I don't know. I think it's, like, the funding, to be honest, of it. Like, the D1s, they have, so many, what do you call it? Like, endorsements, I guess, where, like, they have people, like, donating to the school, and, like,
crazy.
Yeah, a lot of like sponsorships. I think it's just also, I don't know. I think it's just majority just the funding that makes like the biggest difference. Like they're able to like purchase that media option for their teams, and also like some of them might just have an established like kind of objective that they already have and stuff. And so I think that's really the biggest difference. Like quality wise, I don't know. I think
it's not.
It just like depend. I think with D1 it's just the consistency and the demand levels like always like there. It's higher and stuff, but like I don't really think like D2 players are really like that far off from like D1. Like there's people in D2 who are like incredible. Like you can definitely see them like playing higher up, and so it's just more like, as I said before, like the connections you have and stuff like that. But I mean, I think the opportunity to go pro is like you can do that almost anywhere.
Yeah, from anywhere. So. Yeah, you can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
So like Kevin, this is like I know I didn't tell you this, but this is like a thing I'm trying to like do every podcast. So I used to do it, but I want to do like something different with you
Yeah.
If there is any quote that you were like, damn, I live by this quote, I like it. Quote that you have in mind that you would like to share.
Quote. I feel like I saw one the other day.
From one of the probably like the greatest, you're like, man, like I listened to this quote, I like it, and this is why.
Oh my gosh.
Or you can just invent your own quote, you know, like it's totally fine. Like I'm just putting you spot right now.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I've like seen so many, but I can't like think of one.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's a good one. Let me try to get back to you on that while I think about it.
Oh, that's totally fine. Well,
Yeah.
So like now that you mentioned like any D2 players, there's really good D2 players that can make it to D1, right?
Yeah.
So like I know there's so many like economical, like social, whatever factors.
Yeah.
Why a player choose to go to a D2 school instead of a D1, right? So like, do you believe like on luck? Do you think like luck, like the players who become professional, like you have skill, you work really hard, but like for example, like if there's someone from the same team that becomes professional, do you think he's lucky? Like, do you believe that? Or like, oh man, like for example, there's players right now you don't even know, probably they went to high school with you, that you never were friends with. They're like, he's just lucky. He wasn't that good.
Yeah.
So like,
I know there's 100% people like that.
Yeah, for sure there is.
Yeah.
So like, do you like? What do you think about that phrase that people say always like, he's just got lucky, like he just got you know, like
I feel like when I was younger, like kind of more immature, like I would think that, you know, like
like
lucky.
luck,
but like as I gotten older, I think you create your own luck.
Exactly.
Like I think you just the way like obviously work hard and everything like that, but also just I think just putting yourself out there is what's really gonna like create your own luck, you know. I think you create the opportunity for yourself, and you kind of just have to let things flow out the way it is, even if it's not in like your own control. But I think like if you do everything in your control, then you can get the output that you want. So
that's the quote of the day.
That's the quote of the day. Yeah.
The quote of the day by Kevin Jones: "You create your own luck. With hard work, opportunity comes." You see, man? That's the quote of the day. That was a good one. That was a good one. So it's totally like you're totally right. Like usually when you do things right, when you work really hard, and like things start like really like making like figuring it out. You know, like probably like because people will say like, oh yeah, that's not always true.
Yeah.
Well, it is, because that was me. I worked really hard. I make it to the national team. Yeah, I'm not a professional soccer player now, but like when I was doing like everything right, something good happens, you know, and that probably like horrible experience like make me the guy I am today. I'm not a player anymore.
Yeah,
I would love to be bad in the game, but I love the game, man. Like that's why the main reason I created podcast. I was like, I want to know the stories. I just love to hear like D2, D1 experiences, you know. Yeah, and it's just amazing. So let's go back to your roots. You mentioned you're from Brazil, so like. The culture in sports in the United States is way different than Brazil, specifically with soccer. Yeah. You know, here in the United States, like basketball and football, American football is actually a big thing. Yeah. Like big thing that actually football fans says that football is more popular than soccer. It is not. I'm sorry to hear that. That's the reality. Like it's not.
You can check the statistics on that.
Yeah, check the stat, and also like people we realize in 2026. Oh yeah. When 100%. Europeans like fans come here and they change, it's gonna be
flooded,
crazy. Exactly. So like why you think the culture is so important? For example, in Brazil. We know Brazilian players has their own style, right? Yeah. We have Ronaldinho, Robinho, Ronaldo. They have their own like, they bring the sauce, the entertainment to soccer. Yeah. Why do you think is that? Like,
yeah, I think it's just how the people are in general. Like you see, I don't know, even just the nature around there. Like people like, I don't know, Brazilian people, they love to like express themselves. Yeah. Like you can even tell, even without soccer, like just the way they talk, they're so passionate and they're like their tone of speech, and I think that definitely just plays out into like the way they play, you know. Yeah, and I also think like, dude, like the talent is like insane. Like I mean, I've been in Brazil. Like I played in like the courts of futsal, you know, the barefoot, everything. I can't do it because it hurts my feet. I literally sometimes I wear shoes when I'm there because I'm like, dude, the rocks, the pebbles hitting my foot. But Nah, there's literally like 5-year-olds who can do the craziest things like I've ever seen. Like I've even played against like a freestyle, but he was like a homeless kid, but he was playing with us.
So good,
dude. Like raw talent. Like I was just like, wow. Like I was just amazed when I was there. And then, but no, I love like playing futsal down there. I remember like I had an experience where it was my first game there. I was with my cousin, and then he played me the ball. It was like first of the game, and then this guy was defending me, and like I did a nutmeg on it. Everyone was like, "Oh, the gringo, you got you!" So like everyone was going crazy when I did the nutmeg. But I don't know, it was such a fun experience. But like, yeah, just coming back to your question, like I don't know. I think it's just the culture is just it's so like vibrant, energetic there, and I think I don't know. I guess compare that to like the U.S. is just. Soccer has just been such like a big like history there. You know, you see like Pele, Kaká, Ronaldinho, like Cafu, and all these other players. They just I don't know. They made that like culture, and I think you know, like you think like Pele when they're versing the European countries, like no one thinks Brazil is gonna do anything, you know. But I think it's just like he was able just to play like freely, just be creative, and I think it's honestly it just derives from that like. The passion that the country has. That's
awesome, man. Yeah. So like, I know we have been talking a lot of positive things about soccer, you know, about sports, about being a student athlete.
Yeah.
So let's start to talk because there's also a dark side.
Some dark moments.
Now let's start like with Brazil. We're talking about Brazil. There's one issue with Brazilians. Like if you're a Brazilian playing there, like if you say this doesn't happen, you're lying. Like this happens. So like why like Brazilian has great players. Ronaldinho, Kaká, oh my God, amazing players.
Yes.
But why they're like spam of greatness? It just lasts 7 to 8 years.
Yeah.
Like why? Why you think it's that? Because they come from a culture rich in sports, rich in soccer, from really good players.
Yeah.
But why? It's just like they don't become Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi that they have been like on top for 20 years.
Yeah.
They just become like, oh, they're really good for 8 years, 10 years. Like, why is that? Like,
yeah, I think like I don't know. I guess recently, like these last couple of years, why they haven't been. I think it's honestly one. One is like the pressure that they have. That was a bad one. Yeah. One is the pressure that they have. I think just from winning like 5 World Cups to just like. It's either just you win it or you're losers, know? And so like, I think just the pressure of that, especially on like, like our young players, like, we have Vinny, Rodrigo, like all these types of players. And I think they're so young and they're obviously like they're world-class players. But they have so many years ahead of them to develop even more. But I think it's just the pressure just from wearing that shirt. Like